6. Lucky numbers to win big and get rich on the 12th of July 2025 Buddhist teachings. Have you ever wondered, can a number truly change your life? Not just by winning the lottery or striking it rich in the worldly sense, but by guiding you toward a deeper kind of abundance rooted in clarity, peace, and purpose. July 12th, 2025 is not just another date on the calendar. It's a moment when cosmic energy, lunar cycles, and your own inner readiness may align to open new doors. In today's video, we'll explore 6 lucky numbers, but these aren't just numbers for quick wins. They are symbols of transformation, insight, and the kind of wealth that lasts, spiritual wealth. In Buddhist wisdom, true richness doesn't come from having more, but from needing less. That doesn't mean giving up your dreams or ambitions. It means approaching them with mindfulness, compassion, and a clear understanding of cause and effect. Each number you're about to discover carries its own meaning, its own vibration, and its own lesson. Together, they're not just lucky, they're guiding lights. They invite you to realign your life, release pressure, and step into a version of yourself that's more grounded, more powerful, and more at peace. So if you've been feeling stuck, stressed, or unsure about your path, this may be the turning point. These 6 numbers are more than just digits, they're spiritual keys. And one of them might just unlock the clarity, courage, or prosperity you've been seeking. Let's begin this journey together with open hearts, steady minds, and a readiness to receive. 1. Number 20. 2. The Master Builder. Number 22, known as the Master Builder, carries a deep spiritual energy tied to constructing a life aligned not with fleeting desires, but with your soul's deeper purpose. In the teachings of Buddhism, we are reminded to walk the path of right intention to align thought, word, and action toward a meaningful and wholesome life. Number 22 speaks to this same alignment. It is a call to stop hesitating, to release fear and doubt, and instead begin building brick by brick a future that reflects your true values. In our modern lives, where distractions and uncertainty often cloud our inner clarity, this number reminds us that stability and prosperity are not just outer achievements, but inner states cultivated through conscious action. Begin your morning with a steady affirmation: I am ready, I create my path, I trust my power. This simple ritual helps clear mental fog and strengthen your resolve. Then, on a Friday, in mid to late Julia time when the moon's energy supports growth, write down 3 areas in your life that you feel ready to improve. Speak the number 22 aloud with intention and clarity, and imagine each area unfolding with positive, grounded energy. This act may seem small, but like planting a seed, it sets powerful change in motion. The Buddha once said, "Your work is to discover your work, and then with all your heart, to give yourself to it." In this way, number 22 moves us from uncertainty to empowered action. It teaches us that we are not merely observers of life, but co-creators of it. When we build with mindful effort and moral clarity, success is no longer an illusion, it becomes a natural result of spiritual integrity and consistent work. 2. Number 7. Spiritual realignment. Let's talk about the number 7, not just as a number, but as a deep symbol of spiritual alignment and sacred rhythm that appears across many traditions, including our own path of mindfulness and awakening. The number 7 is revered in Buddhism and beyond, often seen as a bridge between the material and spiritual worlds. Think about this. After his enlightenment, the Buddha is said to have taken 7 steps, and with each step, a lotus flower bloomed beneath his feet. This powerful image isn't just poetic, it's a reminder that progress on the spiritual path doesn't happen all at once. It happens one mindful, intentional step at a time. Just like those 7 steps, your own path will unfold naturally when you're aligned in body, mind, and heart. Many of us rush through life, always looking for the next big moment, the final result. But what if you paused today to breathe in and remember that each small act of goodness, each kind thought, each moment of awareness is its own blooming lotus? Here's something you can try. Every morning, place your hand on your heart and breathe gently, repeating the word 7 with each breath. Let it calm your mind and center your energy. Picture 7 golden orbs surrounding you, offering protection and light. And as you go through your day, place the number 7 somewhere visible on your phone wallpaper, on a note on your mirrors, a symbol of your spiritual journey. This number isn't just lucky, it's a tool for grounding and refocusing. Now, let me share a story with you. There's a woman named Lisa, a graphic designer living in a busy city. She used to feel constantly overwhelmed juggling work deadlines, personal goals, and the everyday noise of modern life. One day, while listening to a mindfulness podcast, she heard about the power of the number 7 and decided to give it a try. She committed to practicing 7 minutes of stillness every morning, listing 7 things she was grateful for each evening, and setting no more than 7 goals per week to avoid burnout. Within just 1 month, she noticed her anxiety decreasing and her clarity improving. She even landed a new freelance opportunity through a connection she met at a meditation event, scheduled, of course, for the 7th of the month. Lisa didn't just see it as coincidence. She believed that embracing the rhythm of 7 helped her align her energy, create space, and walk more purposefully through life. That's the kind of transformation the number 7 can bring, not magic, but mindfulness. So ask yourself, how could the principle of 7 bring more harmony into your life? What daily habits or small changes could you make to ground yourself and walk with more awareness? As you reflect, remember, the true riches are not only in what we gain, but in how deeply we walk our path. The number 7 teaches us patience, alignment, and the beauty of progress made mindfully. Let it be your guide on July 12th and beyond. 3. Number 9. Spiritual completion and mastery. Let's explore the deep meaning of the number 9 note, just as a number, but as a symbol of spiritual completion and inner mastery that speaks directly to where you are on your life journey right now. In many Buddhist and Eastern traditions, 9 isn't viewed as an endpoint, but as a powerful moment of transformation, a shift from inner work to outer change, where the clarity you've cultivated within begins to manifest as harmony, abundance, and confidence in the world around you. You see, 9 represents maturity and the kind of wisdom that isn't just spoken about, it's lived, felt, and embodied. The Buddha once said, "To understand everything is to forgive everything." And that level of understanding often comes through the patient unfolding of our own life path. So how can you align with the energy of 9? Begin your mornings in silence, simply repeating the affirmation, "I am complete and ready to grow." As you breathe, let it settle your mind. Then, write down 9 small, doable steps for 3 meaningful goals you're working toward. This brings direction to your purpose. Next, light a candle and visualize your future self, not just as someone who has achieved, but as someone who has become. Feel the energy of that version of you. This practice isn't about chasing success anymore, it's about becoming someone who naturally attracts what they need because their heart, actions, and intentions are in alignment. Ask yourself this: in what area of your life are you ready to stop forcing outcomes and start trusting your growth? Could this be the moment you stop striving and start receiving? Remember, true abundance isn't something you run after, it's something you align with. When your inner world becomes clear and balanced, the outer world begins to reflect that clarity back to you. So, as you prepare for July 12th, Consider how the number 9 can help you complete an old cycle and step into a new one with purpose, with wisdom, and with peace. Your journey toward luck and wealth has already begun by tuning in today. These numbers are more than chance, they're a call to awaken your potential. Type "Open to Fortune" in the comments to embrace the blessings that lie ahead. Don't miss what's coming next. Stay with us until the end to fully unlock this opportunity for abundance. 4. Number 17. Quiet Power and Karmic Growth. Let's take a moment to explore the deeper meaning behind the number 17, especially for those of you walking the path of spiritual growth while navigating the responsibilities of adult life. Number 17 is often misunderstood, yet it carries a quiet power rooted in discipline, maturity, and karmic alignment. In Buddhist thought, this number reflects the unseen progress we make when we choose to do what's right, not for applause, but out of commitment to inner truth. 17 is not a sign of failure or delay, but of spiritual preparation. It reminds you that the real work is often invisible, the daily perseverance, the choices no one else sees, the effort you continue to give when there's no guarantee of immediate reward. As the great teacher Ajahn Chah once said, "If you let go a little, you will have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you will have a lot of peace." That's what 17 is about, letting go of the need for validation and trusting the process. It's also connected with the planet Saturn, the ruler of time, patience, and life lessons. In astrology and in spiritual symbolism, Saturn teaches us structure and endurance. It rewards those who stay committed to growth through challenges. When we break 17 down, 1 plus 7 we get 8, a number deeply associated with karmic balance. In Buddhist teaching, this reflects the law of cause and effect. What you plant is what you harvest. So when you keep seeing the number 17, it's not random. It's a cosmic checkpoint, a message that you are walking your path with sincerity, even if it feels slow or uncertain at times. And in today's world, where we're bombarded with fast results and instant gratification, the number 17 invites you to slow down and keep going. What practice in your life right now could benefit from quiet persistence? Is there something you're nurturing, your health, a relationship, your spiritual practice that needs time and trust? Remember, the power of 17 lies in its stillness and in the strength to stay the course even when the world isn't watching. Trust that every effort you make is planting seeds in the garden of your karma. Keep watering them with patience, with presence, and with faith. 5. Number 3. Authentic expression and harmony. Let's talk about the powerful energy of number 3, a number that holds deep meaning in both Buddhist wisdom and your personal journey toward balance and abundance. In Buddhist teachings, the number 3 reflects the harmony of mind, body, and spirit, a trinity that forms the foundation of a peaceful, fulfilled life. It's also linked to the sacred 3 jewels: the Buddha, representing your inner truth; the Dharma, the path you walk each day; and the Sangha, the supportive community that surrounds you. But this number isn't just a symbol, it's an invitation. It calls on you to speak honestly, to live with creativity, and to flow with life rather than force it. Have you ever held back your voice because you feared judgment or rejection? Number 3 encourages you to stop hiding. July 2025 is a rare moment when the energy of expression and truth will be especially strong, and for those who are willing to align with it, doors will open in unexpected ways. Take the story of Mina, a young woman working in digital marketing in Angeles. She had always been creative, but suppressed her ideas at work, thinking they wouldn't be taken seriously. After learning about the energy of number 3 and its connection to living one's truth, she decided to take a bold step. She proposed a new campaign based on authentic storytelling, something she deeply believed in. Her manager not only approved, Eth praised her for showing leadership. That one act led to a promotion within 3 months and a new sense of confidence. Lan now mentors others on how to balance professionalism with personal truth. Her turning point? She embraced the flow of the number 3. So let me ask you, where in your life are you holding back your voice? What truth wants to come through you but hasn't found the space yet? These questions aren't just reflective, they're the keys to aligning your energy with your purpose. When you live with truth and allow your energy to flow naturally, success and harmony follow. This July, if you tune into the frequency of number 3, you might just find the courage to say what needs to be said and live how your soul wants to live. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Your voice matters, your truth heals, and when you honor your unique energy, life responds with blessings. 6. Number 60. 6. The energy of receiving. Imagine this. What if a simple number could help you unlock the flow of abundance? Not by chasing it, but by allowing it to come naturally into your life. That's the quiet, yet powerful message behind the number 66, especially on a spiritually charged day like July 12, 2025. You see, in Buddhist teachings, the number 6 represents the 6 perfections: generosity, ethical conduct, patience, joyful effort, concentration, and wisdom. 1, a path to inner peace and lasting fulfillment. Now, imagine doubling that energy. 66 becomes a symbol not just of personal growth, but of divine receptivity. It's a vibrational code reminding you to let go of control and trust that when your intentions align with goodness, life will respond in kind. On the evening of July 12th, try this simple ritual. Sit in stillness and reflect on 7 things you are truly grateful for. Let your heart feel them fully. Then write down 11 heartfelt intentions, each one pointing toward goodness, peace, or your personal growth. On the back of the paper, write the number 66 to add energy. After speaking each one aloud, gently say 66 to seal it into the universe with amplified energy. Want to go deeper? Once completed, fold the paper gently and place it under your pillow before sleep. Why under the pillow? Because during sleep, when your mind is most open and free from resistance, your subconscious continues the work you began with intention. Many have found that placing this intention-filled paper beneath their pillow invites intuitive dreams, inner clarity, and a deeper connection to the energy of abundance. The number 66 acts like a spiritual amplifier, guiding your energy to receive, not force, and to trust rather than control. Can you feel the shift when you move from striving to allowing, from fear to faith? That is the quiet strength of magnetizing abundance instead of chasing it. It's not magic, it's mindfulness in motion. So, what intention are you ready to plant beneath your pillow and invite into your life with the power of 66? Now that you've discovered your 6 lucky numbers for July 12th, 2025, take a moment to reflect. True wealth isn't just about what we gain, but what we let go of. Comment inner wealth below if you're ready to go deeper. In the next part, we'll explore how Buddhist wisdom can free you from the pressures of life and guide you toward a rich and truly happy existence. Stay with us. The journey inward is where real fortune begins. Freedom from life's pressures. Buddha's teachings for a rich and happy life. In today's fast-moving world, we are constantly pushed by pressure, work deadlines, social expectations, financial burdens, even the pressure to be happy or successful. But what if real freedom doesn't come from achieving more, but from needing less? What if happiness isn't something we chase, but something we uncover when we let go? The Buddha understood this deeply. Over 2,500 years ago, he offered a path not just to escape suffering, but to live with true richness of heart. Let's explore how his teachings can guide us today toward a life of ease, contentment, and quiet joy. Number 1. Understanding the root of pressure. In today's fast-moving world, many of us from our 30s into our 60s find ourselves overwhelmed by the constant pressures of life. Work demands, family responsibilities, social expectations, financial concerns, and even the pressure to be constantly happy or successful. The Buddha observed the same human struggle and pointed directly to its root, dukkha, a Pali word often translated as suffering, dissatisfaction, or unease. What makes his teaching timeless is that he didn't just identify this discomfort, he explained its cause. It arises from tanha, which means craving or thirst. We crave security, recognition, love, material comfort, and a sense of control. But the more tightly we cling, the more we fear losing what we have or not getting what we desire. And so, life becomes a cycle of grasping and resisting, building inner tension like a rope pulled too tight. The Buddha's wisdom invites us not to judge ourselves, but to see clearly. Instead of blaming our circumstances, our jobs, our relationships, or society, we are gently encouraged to turn inward and ask a powerful question: what am I holding on to so tightly that it's causing me pain? As the Dhammapada reminds us, from craving arises sorrow, from craving arises fear. One who is free from craving has no sorrow or fear. When we look at our lives through this lens, we begin to understand that the pressure is not only out there, but deeply connected to our inner responses and expectations. This understanding doesn't mean we stop caring or striving, it means we shift how we relate to our wants and emotions. For example, it's natural to want a stable job or a peaceful home, but when we demand that things must go our way, we create inner stress. If we can soften that demand and meet life with more openness, our hearts become lighter. This doesn't make us passive, it makes us wise. As Buddhist teacher Ajahn Chah once said, if you let go a little, you'll have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you'll have a lot of peace. If you let go completely, you'll know complete peace. This teaching is not abstract, it's deeply practical. In modern life, we often chase goals thinking they will finally make us feel enough. But peace doesn't come from achieving every goal, it comes from understanding the nature of desire and loosening its grip on us. We can still work hard, love deeply, and live fully, but with more space inside. Consider a glass of muddy water. If you stir it constantly, it stays cloudy. But if you let it rest, it becomes clear. Similarly, when we constantly react to every craving and thought, life feels messy and pressured. But when we begin to observe our patterns with calm awareness, clarity arises. This awareness becomes the doorway to freedom. The Buddha did not promise that life would be without challenges, but he did promise that liberation is possible through understanding. He taught that suffering is not a punishment, it is a signal showing us where we are still attached. That's a profound shift in how we view our pain. Instead of seeing it as something wrong, we can treat it as a teacher, and with practice, we learn to respond with more wisdom and less resistance. So, as you navigate your own life, pressures, whether it's the pressure to be a perfect parent, to meet deadlines, to keep up with others, or to avoid discomfort, remember that the first step to freedom is awareness. When you feel tension rising, pause and ask, what am I craving right now? The answer may surprise you, and in that moment of honesty, healing begins. As the Zen saying goes, let go or be dragged. By gradually letting go of the inner grip of craving, we start to experience what the Buddha meant by true freedom, not freedom from life, but freedom within it. Number 2. Redefining richness. Let's take a moment to truly reflect on what it means to live a rich life. Not rich in the way the world often tells us, overflowing with money, applause, or endless comfort, but rich in the way the Buddha taught, through contentment, santuti, virtue, sila, and wisdom, panna. When we hear the word rich, our minds may automatically picture luxury, status, or success in the eyes of others. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, is that really what brings deep and lasting peace? The Buddha reminds us with great clarity, contentment is the greatest wealth. Dhammapada 204. This is not a call to give up all material things or reject the modern world, but a gentle invitation to question the way we relate to desire. Are we endlessly chasing more because we genuinely need it, or because we're afraid of facing the quiet space within us? In that quiet, are we afraid to find nothing or afraid to find ourselves? Often, we try to fill our lives with distractions, buying more, achieving more, doing more, hoping that somewhere along the way, satisfaction will arise. But fulfillment doesn't come from the outside, it blossoms from within. When you enjoy a simple meal without craving, sit with a friend and feel truly heard, or rest in a moment of silence without needing to escape it, is in those moments that the richness of life reveals itself. That kind of wealth cannot be bought. It is cultivated through mindfulness, ethical living, and clear understanding. Think about it. How much lighter would your life feel if you let go of the constant pressure to impress or accumulate? What would it look like to measure success not by how much you have, but by how little you need to feel whole? True contentment is not laziness or resignation, it's clarity. It's the deep inner knowing that, right now, you have enough, that you are enough. Virtue, then, is the compass that helps us live in a way that brings harmony, not only to ourselves, but to the people around us. It's choosing honesty over gain, kindness over ego, and balance over extremes. And wisdom is what grows when we pay attention, when we stop reacting and start understanding. This trio, contentment, virtue, and wisdom, form the foundation of a genuinely rich life. They work together like sunlight, water, and soil, nurturing the tree of well-being within us. So ask yourself gently, what am I really seeking when I strive for more? Is it comfort, recognition, safety, or simply a sense of being okay with who I am? The Buddha's teachings don't shame desire, they help us understand it and ultimately free ourselves from the grip of unending dissatisfaction. A rich life, then, isn't out there somewhere. It's already here, waiting in the simplicity of this breath, this moment, this awareness. Can you feel the peace that comes when you stop grasping for more? Lesson to reflect on. A rich life isn't about adding more to your plates, about appreciating what's already there. Cultivate contentment by being present. Practice virtue by choosing kindness and honesty. Grow wisdom by observing your thoughts and actions with care. In doing so, you'll discover that the richest life is not the one filled with things, but the one filled with meaning, peace, and heart. Number 3. Living with intention, not expectation. Have you ever felt weighed down by expectations your own or those others place on you? It's so common in today's fast-paced world to constantly wonder, am I doing enough? Will I succeed? Or, what will I get out of this? But what if I told you that true freedom doesn't come from chasing results, but from aligning your heart with intention? In the teachings of the Buddha, this shift is powerful. On the Noble Eightfold Path, the heart of Buddhist practice, there is a step called right intention. It's not just about having goals or desires, but about living with clarity, compassion, and purpose. When we begin to act not from fear, ambition, or ego, but from kindness, wisdom, and a genuine wish to do no harm, life starts to feel less like a struggle and more like a meaningful journey. Let me ask you this: what drives most of your decisions? Is it the hope of gaining something, or is it the wish to offer something valuable to the world? It's such an important reflection, because many of us unknowingly live with a mindset that constantly asks, what will I get from this? Whether it's appreciation, success, wealth, or approval. But this constant striving creates pressure, disappointment, and stress. Expectations are like heavy bags we carry on our backs. They tire us, and when we don't get what we hoped for, we feel like we've failed. But the Buddha offers another way: living with intention. When we shift that question to, what can I offer, we open up a whole new way of being. Instead of feeling empty when things don't go our way, we feel fulfilled just by doing what is good, what is right, and what is kind. There's a beautiful quote by the Buddha that says, "Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life." And what is a spiritual life, if not a life lived with deep intention? It doesn't mean you need to become a monk or renounce the world. It simply means living each day with awareness, choosing your thoughts, your words, and your actions with care. Imagine waking up and asking yourself, how can I be of service today? Or, what is the most compassionate choice I can make in this moment? That small shift in thought opens the heart, eases the mind, and brings a deep sense of connection to everything around you. Now, you might wonder what happens to ambition or goals if we let go of expectations. Are we just supposed to float through life without direction? Not at all. The Buddha never asked us to abandon action. He asked us to refine our motivation. Intention doesn't mean you don't strive, it means you strive without clinging. You work hard, you do your best, but you release the pressure of needing a certain result. And ironically, it's often when we let go of outcome that we become more peaceful, more focused, and more successful in a lasting, meaningful way. Let me share a reflection with you. Picture a gardener planting seeds. If the gardener plants with the intention of nourishing life, tending each seed with patience and love, there is joy in every moment of the process: watering, watching, waiting. But if the gardener is obsessed only with the harvest, they miss the beauty of the blooming. Which kind of gardener are you being in your life? And how would it feel to plant seeds of goodness without obsessing over when or how they will bloom? Living with intention also makes us more resilient, because when life doesn't go as planned, and it often won't, your peace doesn't collapse. Why? Because your peace wasn't built on getting something, it was built on giving something. And giving, from the heart, always brings us closer to happiness. The Dhammapada reminds us, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. When we choose thoughts rooted in intention rather than expectation, we free ourselves from the constant grasping that causes suffering. Think about your relationships, your work, your daily interactions. What would shift if you started bringing in more intention and dropped some of the heavy expectations? How would it feel to love simply because love feels good in your heart, not because you expect it to be returned? How would it feel to help someone, not for recognition, but just because it was the right thing to do? So the next time you find yourself caught in a moment of stress, pause and ask yourself, am I acting from fear or from love? That simple check-in can change everything. Because when our actions are guided by love and clarity, not by fear and demand, life feels lighter even when we're facing challenges. We become like trees rooted deep in the ground. The winds of life may shake our branches, but they can't uproot our peace. As you go forward today, I invite you to live with intention, not grand gestures or dramatic changes, just quiet, conscious decisions to offer something good to the world around you. Whether it's a kind word, a patient breath, or a compassionate choice, it all adds up. And that is where real freedom begins, not in escaping life's responsibilities, but in embracing them with a calm, open heart. So I'll leave you with a question. What is one small way you can live with intention today? Let that question stay with you as you move through the day, and notice how your heart responds when you choose presence over pressure. If this message touched your heart, take a moment to ground it with a simple action. Comment, "Living with intention, not expectation," below to affirm your path of living with purpose, not pressure. No need to overthink, just type those 3 words and carry that energy with you today. Number 4. Mindfulness, the art of coming home. Let's talk about something simple yet deeply transformative: mindfulness, which the Buddha called sati, or the art of being truly present. In today's world, where so many of us are constantly juggling responsibilities, work, deadlines, family needs, financial worries, health concerns, it's easy to feel like we're living in a storm of mental noise. We think about what we didn't do yesterday, what might go wrong tomorrow, or how we're being perceived. And in all that mental chasing, we forget the only place where life is actually happening, right now. Buddha's timeless wisdom reminds us of this when he says, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment." This isn't just poetic advice, it's a practical lifeline. When we practice mindfulness, we stop running. We stop chasing the future or regretting the past. We come home to ourselves, not in some mystical sense, but in the very real, grounded experience of being alive in this moment. And when we do that, even for a few seconds, the tension begins to soften, the overwhelm lightens, and we touch a kind of peace that no one can give us or take away. Now, you might be wondering, what does it actually mean to be mindful in everyday life? It's not about sitting perfectly still or emptying your mind of thoughts. It's much simpler and more human than that. It's about gently paying attention to what's happening right now, without judgment. For example, the next time you're feeling stressed or stretched too thin, just pause for a few seconds and take 3 slow, conscious breaths. As you breathe in, feel the air entering your body. As you breathe out, notice the tension leaving your shoulders, your jaw, your chest. Listen to the sounds around you, not to analyze them, but just to notice that they're there. Feel your feet on the ground. All of this brings you back to the present, and it's in the present that pressure loses its grip. Because most of the pressure we feel doesn't actually come from the tasks we have to do, it comes from the mental clutter surrounding them. Mindfulness clears that clutter, like opening a window in a stuffy room. For many people between the ages of 30 and 65, this practice is not only helpful, it's essential. You've likely spent much of your life working hard, caring for others, trying to build a future, and somewhere along the way, you may have lost the ability to just be. Mindfulness is a way to come back to that, to remember that you are more than what you produce, more than your worries, more than your mistakes. You are a living, breathing human being, worthy of peace, and capable of touching that peace in the smallest of moments. And the beautiful part is, you don't have to wait until things are perfect to start. You don't need an hour-long meditation cushion. You can bring mindfulness into everyday life, when you're drinking your morning coffee, when you're driving, when you're washing dishes or walking the dog. All it takes is presence and a willingness to gently return to it again and again. So the real question becomes not, how do I escape pressure, but how can I meet life as it is, with clarity and compassion? That's what mindfulness offers. It's not a shortcut or a trick. It's a return to the present, to the breath, to yourself. And in this return, you may find that what you've been searching for, peace, ease, even happiness, was never far away. It was right here, waiting in the stillness of the moment, asking only for your attention. So as you prepare for July 12th, remember these numbers aren't just signs of luck, but symbols of deeper truths. They remind us to align with intention, live with awareness, and trust that when we walk the path of goodness, life will meet us with support and abundance. Whether it's the strength of 22, the calm of 7, the wisdom of 9, or the energy of 66, each number is an invitation to build not just wealth, but a life of meaning and peace. Thank you for being here and for walking this journey of wisdom together. If this video brought you insight or inspiration, please like, share, and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss our next teachings and stories to support your path. Until next time, may your actions be kind, your mind be clear, and your heart be open.